Hello and welcome to the Pastor's Study. You know, have you ever tried to pound on Jello? And you say, well, that's silly. You can't pound Jello. Well, how about Play-Doh? Well, you can flatten it out, but you know what? You can't pound it into a shape because if you beat on it, it just rolls off to the side. It'll shift shape, but it won't hold a shape. Now, you could take a piece of steel, heat it up and pound on it, and heat it up again and pound on it, and you could pound it into some kind of a shape because there's a level of resistance there, but there's a level of rigidity there. And so you could beat it into shape. Well, Solomon says, you could take a fool and you could pound on a fool, but you're never going to drive away the foolishness. For all of your efforts, for all of your hard work, that's not going to change a fool. And so there's that warning for us and a caution for us. Let the changing of a fool to the Lord. We're not going to get anywhere by constantly beating on them, constantly harping on them, constantly ridiculing them or putting them down, trying to whip them into shape. A foolish individual will not hear or listen. So think about that truth. And then Solomon goes on and he gives it to us in an agricultural mindset, because certainly in Solomon's day that would have been far more understandable. But he says we are to know our flocks. We're to know the condition of our flocks. And we are to pay attention to our herds. Well, as a pastor, you think about members of a congregation when you think about flocks. But, I think for any one of us, the people around us, the people we work with, we should know them. We should know whether we can trust them. We should know who's dependable. If we're a boss, we should know our employees. If we're a foreman or some kind of a leader, we should know those around us. Because he says, riches, they don't last. The crown or a leadership position may not last. And there may be a day when you need to depend on someone. And you need to know who that is. Who is that someone that you can depend on? Who's the individual that you can pick up the phone and call for in your time of need? So think about how you care and who you trust. Until we gather again in the Pastor's Study. Goodbye, and may God bless.